Okay, good morning and welcome everyone. Thank you for joining us today. I really appreciate you taking all the time out of your busy schedules to join us and for being such valuable partners to WSOS. My name is Mesa. I'm the award advisor here at WSOS, and I'm so excited to introduce our new career and technical scholarship to you. So before I begin, I just want to do a quick check-in to see if folks can hear me by clicking the raise your hand button. It should be at the bottom of the screen. Great. All right. Okay, it's looking good. Thank you so much. So before we get started, I want to make sure that you know there is a Q&A button at the bottom of the screen. If you bring your mouse to the bottom left, you should see a button. If you have any questions during the presentation, go ahead and fill in your questions there. We'll have time at the end of the session to go ahead and address any questions that are typed in, and any questions that we don't get to today will be addressed via email. This presentation is also being recorded and will be emailed to you and anyone that registered for the presentation after the presentation today. So you will be able to revisit this presentation or share it with anyone that you think it might be useful for. All right, so like I said, my name is Mesa. I'm really happy to see everyone here this morning. I'm the award advisor here at WSOS, and I've been working with the awards team to create the Career and Technical Scholarship. You can go ahead and jot down my email address. If you have any questions after this presentation, you're always welcome to reach out to me. I'm happy to discuss the Career and Technical Scholarship with anyone that is working with any scholars in our community to potentially sign up for this scholarship. And my contact information will also be available at the very end of this presentation as well. So if you're not able to jot my email down now, that is totally fine. Okay, and a quick overview of what we'll be looking at today. So I'll do a quick overview of WSOS. I'm sure most of you are familiar with us. And then we'll go right into discussing what the Career and Technical Scholarship is. We'll take a look at the 2019-20 CTS Scholarship Application Cycle. I'll show you some of the toolkits that we have available to our promotional partners and any potential applicants. And I'll take a minute to walk you through the scholarship application portal, just so that any of you that might be assisting students directly have some familiarity with it and hopefully feel a bit more comfortable assisting any applicants. All right, so as I'm sure most of you already know, WSOS is a public-private scholarship program. So that means that for every scholarship dollar invested by the private sector, it's matched dollar for dollar by the state of Washington. And we are a statewide program that provides scholarship dollars and student support to Washington State students in order to reduce barriers to education and create connections between our students and key industry partners. And just a brief look at what WSOS has accomplished so far. By the end of this academic year, Opportunity Scholars will have received over $64 million in scholarship dollars. To date, 3,300 Opportunity Scholars have earned their bachelor's degree. Our scholars hail from every corner and county of Washington State, bringing with them a diverse set of backgrounds and experiences to our STEM and healthcare industries. And you'll see at the bottom of this slide some highlights from the cohort we selected last year. Of our most recently awarded scholars, 61% are women, 64% are students of color, and 65% are first-generation college students. If you'd like to learn more about the outcomes and progress we've made, I really encourage you to download our 2018 legislative report, which can be found on the WSOS website. And of course, these numbers are for the students that we have served in the past few years through the Baccalaureate Scholarship, which supports students earning a bachelor's degree in STEM or healthcare. And today we are going to be introducing our new scholarship. So just to set the groundwork here, the Career and Technical Scholarship is a brand new scholarship that will be offered by WSOS. So The Washington State Opportunity Scholarship is the name of our organization as a whole. The Baccalaureate Scholarship is the name for the scholarship that we have been offering for the past few years that I'm sure many of you are familiar with. The Baccalaureate Scholarship is available for students that are pursuing STEM or healthcare bachelor's degrees. And now, in addition to the Baccalaureate Scholarship, today we're excited to announce the Career and Technical Scholarship, which is for scholars who only want to get an associate's degree, apprenticeship, or certificate and do not have an intention of earning a bachelor's degree. And nothing is changing with our baccalaureate scholarship. As of now, it is staying exactly the same as you know it. We just have a new name for it. So what is CTS? CTS is a new scholarship offered by WSOS that will fund students enrolling in trade, healthcare, and STEM programs at Washington State Community Technical Colleges. And we're really excited to offer this program because we acknowledge that our current scholarship only serves those students that wish to enter a career that requires a 4-year degree. But WSOS acknowledges that there are many high demand careers in Washington State that require alternative post-secondary credentials. So we're really excited to introduce CTS as it will allow us to better honor the WSOS mission and serve a broader range of students in our community. So today we're really looking to get everyone excited about this new scholarship. I hope that we can earn your support and give you some tools that you need to help recruit and support students in your schools and communities through the application process. Champions like you are really one of the biggest reasons that students apply to our scholarship, and the reason that they believe opportunities like this are meant for students like them. And this year we will be selecting 550 students to begin receiving their award in the 2019-20 academic year. All right, so CTS. As I've mentioned already, the CTS will fund students that are enrolled in eligible trade, healthcare, and STEM programs. You'll notice that distinction of trade is new from what we have offered in the past for our baccalaureate scholarship. And the list of eligible programs can be found on the WSOS website and is tailored to each individual school and the programs that it offers. And the types of supported programs are apprenticeships, certificates, and associates. Again, this is really the key difference between the baccalaureate scholarship and the career and technical scholarship. If you're assisting students and they're not certain which of the two scholarships they should apply for, if a student has any intention of earning a bachelor's degree, they should apply for the baccalaureate. If they plan to stop their education and enter their career after an apprenticeship, certificate, or associates, then they should apply for the career and technical scholarship. And the scholarship will be able to be used at 34 of the eligible community and technical colleges in Washington State. And the award amount is $1,500 per quarter. And some of the common program examples that are supported through CTS are welding, nursing, information technology, and commercial driver's license. And funding can be used for up to the cost of attendance. So it can be used for books, room and board, etc. It doesn't have to be used solely for tuition. Okay, so the eligibility requirements for applicants. Students must be a Washington State resident as defined by state legislature. Undocumented status does not impact eligibility so long as students are a Washington State resident, they are eligible. They must have earned their high school diploma or GED from a Washington State institution. And they must file the upcoming academic year's FAFSA or WASFA by the application deadline. If they are eligible, they must apply for federal education tax credits. And they must have a total family income that does not exceed 125% of the Washington State family median income based on family size. And all of this information, again, is accessible on the website, and there are charts and reference points for students to look at if they're not certain if they meet these eligibility criteria. Students cannot have yet earned a bachelor's degree. If they are looking to apply, they can have previous education experience, post-secondary education, but they cannot have a bachelor's degree. They must plan to enroll in an eligible trade, healthcare, or STEM program, again, as defined on the list of approved programs. And they must be in that program before their first disbursement. So they have to enroll for this application, they'll have to enroll before the start of fall quarter. And they must plan to enroll at an eligible Washington State Community College. Again, they must be enrolled before their first disbursement. And they have to plan to enroll in at least half-time every term. So that they must be in at least 6 credits. Scholars are not required to enroll in summer term, but they do have access to funds in summer term if they choose to enroll. And we do have a quarterly admission process, so that means that the application will be open 3 times a year. The fall 2019-20 application is currently open and will close on July 12th. And as I said earlier, we'll be selecting 550 scholars in 2019-2020, 50% of which will be selected this fall, 30% in winter, and 20% in spring. The specific application dates for winter and spring quarter are still to be determined, but they will be up on the WSOS website as soon as those are solidified. So for the application process, an applicant, it's pretty similar to the baccalaureate scholarship if you're familiar with that already. An applicant must complete an online WSOS application. They must complete the 2019-20 FAFSA or WASFA by the application deadline. And if applicable, they must send a copy of an unofficial transcript or copy of GED score to WSOS postmarked by the application deadline. So this is one of the critical differences between the application process for CTS and baccalaureate. Not all scholars for the career and technical scholarship, not all applicants are required to submit a transcript. We have a really clear flowchart available to students to determine if they are required to submit a transcript as part of the application process. And again, that is available on the website, and I'll show you where that can be found at the end of this presentation. And the online application does include an essay component, which is a single essay question. All right, so we've created a couple of toolkits for our promotional partners and for applicants. Honestly, both of these toolkits will be really helpful for anyone that is looking to help students apply. This first promotional toolkit is designed for our promotional partners. You can see it's on the WSOS website under the For Partners tab, Promotional Toolkit. And this page just contains some general information about the scholarships. And as we develop promotional resources that might be helpful to schools, this is where you would find them. The current main resource that we have listed is the application toolkit. And this is something that is designed to be useful for students that are looking to apply to CTS, but is also probably going to be very helpful for our promotional partners to get a real feel for what needs to be done to successfully apply. So you can see on this page, we have the scholarship timeline, which outlines when the application opens and closes and when everything else must be submitted. The eligible programs list, the eligible colleges list, the median family income chart, the transcripts chart, and a sample essay. I really encourage all students and anyone helping students to take a look at this sample essay question before going in and starting the application, just to make sure they have a feel for what they need to expect for the application. And then if you scroll all the way down, we have the application checklist. Again, this is just a place to make sure students have checked off all the steps required to submit a complete application. And then this is a glimpse into what the scholarship application portal looks like. It's very similar to the baccalaureate portal if you've ever looked in there. New users will have to click the sign up button to create an account. And then once they do, they'll need to sign in, and we'll go ahead and take a look in the application portal. So again, this is the page where all students will sign in or sign up. If it's a new student, they should go ahead and click the sign up button. Once they've created an account, they can log in. And once they've logged in, they will be brought to this first page where they'll be directed to create a profile. And the profile is the first step for students to be able to confirm their eligibility. Most of the questions are designed to reinforce the applicant eligibility requirements. So for example, are you a Washington State resident? Yes. The next question comes up. No, based on this response, you're not eligible. So this is a great spot for students just to make sure that they meet all the eligibility criteria. And then it's also the spot for them to provide all of their basic contact information. This is really critical, important information that it's important that they enter it correctly the first time, since this is the information that we will use to contact them once they've been selected. So we want to make sure we're able to get a hold of them as soon as the selection process is complete. And once students complete their applicant profile, they'll be asked to enter the basic information. And once they've completed that applicant profile, they'll be taken to the next step where they can begin the application process. So that's where they start their actual entry. And that is down in this section here. They'll have to click the Get Started button, and that will take them to a section where they can see the 4 sections of the application. So first is academic information, which will ask about their academic history, and then financial information, which is where they will provide information that's based off of their FAFSA or WASFA. So we really encourage students to complete those before they do the application so they can have that information already easily accessible and referenceable. They'll also have the essay question, where we encourage them to go ahead and open this up, take a look at the question, but maybe type out their answer in a separate Word document and then enter it later once they've had a chance to edit it and finalize it. It's a 250 minimum word count and a 500 maximum. And then an agreement section where they will, if they are under 18 years of age, will need a parent or guardian to assist them in signing the form. Once students have completed all of these sections, this submit button will be available for them to click. And once they click that, they will receive a notification that they have successfully completed their application. And that is our summary of the Career and Technical Scholarship. Again, my name is Mesa. I've got my email address up here for you. We do have another training upcoming on June 4th at 3 p.m. That is a presentation that will be done entirely in Spanish. So if you have anyone that you think might be interested, we really encourage you to spread the word. people are encouraged to register even if they're not sure they can attend specifically at that date and time, because they will then get the link afterward that shows the recorded training. And like I said at the start of this presentation, you will get an email after the presentation today that contains a recorded link to this training session. And I will go ahead and see if we have any questions. A reminder that if you have any questions right now, you can go ahead and go to the bottom left side of the toolbar. There's a Q&A button. Okay, so our first question is, I qualify for this with my income and medical billing specialist certification program at Everett Community College, but I already have a BA and my high school diploma is not from a Washington high school. Should I continue trying to pursue CTS? And the answer is no. Applicants cannot have earned a previous bachelor's degree that will disqualify them from being eligible for the scholarship, and they must have their high school credential be earned from an institution in Washington State. And our next question is, can a student that is dual enrolled in high school and college level classes apply for this scholarship? Yes, students, the only previous experience that would prohibit a student from applying to the scholarship is if they have that bachelor's degree. So particularly, we get a lot of questions from Running Start students. Their previous credits that they've earned from college during Running Start will not impact their eligibility, and they're definitely still encouraged to apply. And the Spanish language webinar, we will send out a registration link to the webinar in the email after this presentation today, so you'll have access to that registration link, and you will be able to forward that link to anyone that you think might be interested. The FAFSA and WASPA that is currently open and accessible to students is the one that they should complete. If a student does not have a physical address that they can list, they should, if you're assisting a student that does not have a physical address, work with them to find out if there's any sort of temporary address. In the past, we've had temporary addresses given to us by scholars or by applicants, acknowledging that that was not going to be a long-term residence for them. If a person is interested in applying and they do not have a permanent physical address, they are, first of all, certainly welcome to reach out to us to figure out what the best option for them to list is, or they can type in, it is a required field, they can type in no physical address. We ask for the physical address because that does help us have one more means of connecting with them, but it is by no means actually required that a student have a physical address, so long as they're able to give us some form of contact information, whether that's email is really the best one, and really the one that should be most reinforced to students, that they should enter the email address that they foresee themselves using for at least the next 6 months, so that we can get a hold of them while we're getting their scholarship up and running. And we have a question about the colors of the counties in the WSOS statistics slide. I don't have the capacity to go over the specific colors right at this moment, but I really encourage you to take a look. That chart can be found in the 2018 legislative report, and I believe that is on page 11 in the legislative report. And it looks like we don't have any other questions. I'll give everyone a chance to type any last questions. We have a question: how do students send the FAFSA to WSOS? They do not actually have to send any sort of verification that they've completed the FAFSA or WASFA. WSOS partners directly with WASAC to confirm students' completion. So students do not need to submit anything, they just need to make sure that they do it. Part of the application process does ask for a social security number. Students that do not have a it is not required though, so students that do not have a social security number are fine, they can still submit. But it is helpful for us if a student has an SSN, if they can provide it so that we can be confident that we are receiving correct information from WASAC confirming that they've completed their FAFSA. Again, they do not have to provide it, but we don't share that information with anyone. It's purely to help us confirm that they've completed FAFSA or WASFA. Okay, we have a couple more minutes here if anyone has any last questions. Otherwise, take a moment to write down my email. I'm happy to answer any additional questions later on that you might have. I encourage everyone to take a look at our website, waopportunityscholarship.org. We put up a bunch of information about how to apply for the scholarship. We've also put up a bunch of information that will be applicable to current scholars. So it outlines what the award amount looks like and how that will be awarded to their accounts. And we also have a bunch of information. We will continue to update the promotional partners page as more information and content is created. And the 125% MFI is based on adjusted gross income. And we have another question. If a program is approved at one institution but not the others, can students from other institutions in that particular program be eligible for this scholarship? Students must be enrolled in the program at the specific institution. So students, if they are really set on enrolling in a specific program, that is not offered at the institution that they're currently enrolled at, would need to transition to the other institution for which it is eligible. Our eligible programs list is adaptable and flexible if there is need. So we are always open to suggestions. Our aim and intention with our eligible programs list is to support all of the programs in our communities that lead to high demand careers. So if there is, and we've used that, our programs list is based on information from the SBCTC and from ESD and from Washington STEM. If you believe that there is a program missing from our list that is critical and leads to a high demand career, we are always open to having that conversation. We want to make sure that the list we are supporting is truly helpful to the students in our community. All right, and that is our time. Thank you so much, everyone, for coming and joining us today. I'm really grateful to have everyone here, and I look forward to discussing the program more with you as our scholarship gets rolling and we select our new cohort of scholars for the fall 2019. I hope you have a great day. Bye-bye.